Hello, hello, hello. Are we live? Yes, we are live again. And now we are live with yet another co-author of the book Miracles Are Normal, Julianna Rose. Yay!
Hello, everybody. Hi.
So good to have you here. Would you
Yeah.
like to start by introducing yourself?
Well, my name is Julianna Rose, and uh, I'm many things actually. I'm a transformational leader for visionary light leaders to move forward into their passion, into their purpose, into their prosperity. And I'm a spiritual wealth architect, meaning I bridge human consciousness with higher consciousness, and I help people get connected to their souls. So by giving them energetic transmissions of light, of love, of peace, unity, whatever the soul is calling for that individual to bring into their human vessel. And I'm also a channel for divinity. And that I discovered very early on, but did not know what that was. Um, so I was a little hesitant. And I also speak light language. And yeah, I'm a mother of two beautiful starseed children and a wife and in a beautiful home in Florida. I feel very abundant and fulfilled. So here I am.
Wow. That is so beautifully explained. I love the way you describe yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, if you had to describe yourself in just three words, what would those words be?
First, let's dive into the heart and say love, because this is the universe of love. And we are here for love. And I've learned in this lifetime and many other lifetimes to be deeply compassionate, empathic, um, kind to others, knowing that others are just a mirror of me, and really devoted to humanity's growth and passion for helping others. That's the love that I carry within me. Sometimes it can get so intense that I have to back off myself. I can get so caring with somebody that I have to say, okay, boundaries. The second the second frequency that I really hold strongly is abundance. And that means abundance of freedom, of fulfillment, of living the best life that life has to offer here on the planet and sharing that, showing how others can be that unique frequency within them. And then the third one that I really is part of my mission and purpose and why I'm truly here is unity. And I'm all about wanting to create communities because we need to be here together as one. And you can see examples of the opposite that's going on in the world right now, the chaos and the distractions and the separation. But unity for me is about wholeness and solidarity and unification and balance and harmony and no separation, right? Knowing that we all have our own journeys on the earth plane. So those are the three frequencies that really describe who Juliana Rose is.
I love that. Love, abundance, unity. That's incredible. That's a message in a nutshell, really, just in those three words. Incredible. And what's a fun fact about yourself that you think the listeners, viewers, and your readers might want to know?
Well, I didn't grow up in abundance. I grew up in scarcity and poverty. And I had to learn from a very young age um, that, what that abundance was. So I turned to nature. I turned to the animals. I turned to the plants when my family and financial life were broken so that I could get more clarity. And being that I was highly empathic, highly sensitive, and psychic and intuitive, um, I had to express myself somehow in the world. And so I needed that expression to be abundant. And I knew somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew that living in a scarcity mindset, living in poverty was not my reality. I just knew it as a kid. So all my life, I've been on this deep dive, this search, this deep inner search for that abundant living, that what I call, the beauty way of living here on the planet and being able to share that within communities that I've been in most of my life. And that, even with family who didn't feel abundant, and those individuals in the community around me that does not feel abundant. I had to actually be that present embodied energy within so that they could feel that without really knowing or recognizing what that was. Being in the field of that can make a shift for somebody. You don't have to force it. It's effortless, really. It's just you being you.
So
So
were
that's an
you,
interesting fact that
yeah.
maybe a lot of people don't know about me.
Yeah, that is interesting. So were you already doing that as a child? From a young child, you were already being that frequency.
Yes, I was.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, it was interesting. My first experiences growing up, um, I lived on a small farm. My parents did what they could. My dad was a farmer in California. And my mom, she was a homemaker at the time, did, some uh, MLMs, like Shackley and some of those different things at home, but she wanted to be at home with her kids. And I grew up with five older brothers, and I was the only girl in the family. But I knew I was there to break down borders and be a change maker. I was, part of that new pioneering energy that was coming in to make some shifts and changes. So I wasn't like their frequency at all. I was completely different, 360. And I would communicate with the animals, and I would see things in my room, other beings, otherworldly beings, and communicate with the trees and the plants. They all have their own frequency and energy. And it wasn't through words necessarily. It was through my energy, and I would get resonance through my frequency, through my ears, or through my third eye, seeing certain visions. And later on down the line, my mom, she got really worried and concerned because I was not speaking at age 8. I didn't want to speak, but she didn't understand that at that time that I was still communicating, but not vocally. So she put me in different activities, and one of them that I fell in love with was dance. And that gave me the expression of creatively, artistically moving my body in a way that I felt comfortable communicating in the world. So from then on, I became a professional dancer and moved into getting, a scholarship in dance and really excelling in that background, and into excelling into Pilates because I had so much knowledge of the body. Yeah, and that was kind of my uh, first initial energies on the planet. Yeah.
Incredible. Amazing. I can imagine you as a dancer and how beautiful you would be. And what is your heritage? You look like you might be Hispanic or Latino or something.
I am definitely a good mix.
Okay.
I consider myself Eurasian,
Hmm.
because I have some Asian culture as well as European, as
Hmm.
well as a little bit of Native American. So I'm kind of
Ooh,
a mix in
gorgeous.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And do you think that that's where those sort of voices, like speaking to nature, I mean, if you look at um, yeah, if you look at those cultures, maybe that's where that came from. Yeah,
yes.
Dances with Wolves comes to mind. Um,
Uh-huh.
it is all about
Yes.
animals and spirit guides, and
Yeah.
that's
Guides
amazing.
just came in. I got chills. So
Yeah.
they would like me to say that, yes, it does come from that passed down lineages, those bloodlines, those ancient ancestral practices of dancing, whether it's around a fire,
Mm.
in your communities. I did study shamanism a lot in my beginning years because I really needed to ground that energy, and I found shamanism gave me that connection with nature and the nature spirits and the elements of earth, air, fire, water, and ether, and help me to get that basic fundamentals without fully having to go, and do the studies, which I did as well, but fully having to do it, it's all about memory because we all, every single one of us has it within our memory of the exact stories that we are here to experience. And if we could just tap into those with curiosity and wonder, our world would be super amazing, more than it already is.
Yeah, with that curiosity and wonder that a child has, like you had as a
Exactly.
child, just embracing these gifts, these natural gifts that you had. I suppose with those five brothers all doing their thing, you were kind of left alone to just be able to develop. I mean, that's a lot of
Yes.
children. Your parents were
Yes.
probably had their hands full.
Well, yes, they did. And they were, wild children, so to speak. My
Yeah.
brothers, I was in awe, my jaw usually dropped, if they did something. And I was like, oh, wow. But it wasn't my natural state to do what they were doing and explore in the ways that they needed to explore. I came in almost fully knowing that I have a greater purpose. I don't need to be doing all of those shenanigans, so to
Ah,
speak.
yeah.
I don't need to be creating that chaos. Although I did have chaos in my world, which turned into my miraculous life, even
Yeah.
from a very young age, I had great miracles, which I talk about, greatly
So
and
let's talk about that. Let's talk about your miracle story because we're here to talk about the launch of Miracles Are Normal, which
yeah.
is happening as we speak. This is the day that we launch on Kindle. Very, very exciting.
I
Um,
know. Pinch me, right? It's like,
I know it's really happening. But have you been published before? Is this your first book?
this is my second book.
Uh-huh.
My first book actually, it was with Dina as well, and it was my first opening to my writing as an author frequency, which is in my encodements. Actually, I have it right here. So this was the
Oh,
first one.
I'm so glad you
First,
let me. Wow,
yeah.
tell me about that.
That was my first entry into sharing my stories about mysticism, healing, transformation, and how the tools and techniques, if you dive into the history of humanity, they have already been there long before you and I were created, and long before even the Egyptians discovered them.
Mhm.
And and healing is natural for everybody, but it's unique to each and every person, meaning each person has a formula and what they need. Hence why you see so many different modalities and techniques out there, because each individual has DNA codes,
Mhm.
and we each come from have different elements and different levels and percentages of those elements. And in order to balance and harmonize them, you're going to need different frequencies. Your frequencies are different from mine. Your energy is different from mine. That's what makes us unique, just like our thumbprint, right? It makes us unique. And to be able to dive in and heal and uncover any limitations and lack comes from a willingness and wanting to open the heart even more, and that comes back to the love, right? That comes back to self-love, loving yourself.
Mhm.
And so I share the mission of how I resisted the medicine for a very long time. And then when I decided to surrender, the gifts, my own natural gifts, really came alive. So readers
Never.
can read more about that.
Yeah. How old were you when you surrendered?
I was on the cusp of 27, 28, and I was in New York City.
Really interesting.
Yeah. And
27 is a pivotal year.
it was a very pivotal year.
Mm.
And I had moved there. I had followed my beloved, my love of my life, from California to New York City. I did a very wild thing of just selling all of my things, all my belongings, and saying yes to the opportunity, because I knew that was the one. In my heart of hearts, I knew
Mhm.
that this individual I wanted to experience my life with. And I was semi new into the Pilates career, and I decided to get job offers in New York City. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So when I went to New York City, imagine a California girl with clean streets and nature all around, and going into the concrete jungle. I think I cried, from culture shock for the first, few months. And then I got used to it, and it became my thing, my routine, and I really got into the routine, and I worked and worked and worked really hard on my career. And I worked so much, and I made it, up to the top. I was becoming, famous, if you wanted to say that word, but there was a inkling inside of me which started around the time uh, before 9/11. Before 9/11 happened, and that started to bring different energy into not only the planet, but into New York City. And I really didn't know how to handle it. And one of my clients, she lived in Europe, but she traveled around and she came to me personally and she said, very, very intuitive. She goes, there's another way.
Mm.
And I didn't really know what she meant at that time, but my heart was starting to open and little fear was there. And she told me about this workshop, and it was about divine higher consciousness and pure magic. And when I took that class, something incredible happened. I had magic miracles even then. Um, Someone lost their veil over their heart by me just putting my hands on their heart. And I had no idea what I did. I was just, going about my own self. But when I did that, he was so grateful. And from that moment on, I committed to that purpose of finding out what that was all about. And here I am more than 25 years later.
That's incredible. Wow. And going back to the writing, has writing and publishing a book changed the way you see yourself?
Yes, definitely.
In what way?
Um, when I was young, I had this like being a dancer, there's like this perfectionism that happens in the dance world. Being a ballerina, a modern dancer, choreographer, there's like this perfectionism that happens. And uh, a little bit of insecurity happens with dancers as well.
Yeah.
So I really had to work with myself to move myself out of those timelines and spaces and into a place of courage and confidence. Courage being cœur, being the root, the French root of heart. And uh, writing really has helped me build strength in my mission, in my purpose, and really in trusting the process that the God source, the source creator of all that is, has for me. So, that in a nutshell is why writing, not only that, but it gives me more expression. Being a Leo, I have a lot of energies in my astrology chart that are related to the sun and needing to express. I need to express that with the world, and that makes me more fulfilled and abundant. So writing uh, helps me get out those deep mystical thoughts that come from the non-human side of me.
Wow, that's beautiful. And the title that you chose, I'm not sure if this was also the title for your story in Miracles Are Normal, Saved for a Purpose. Tell me more about that.
That isn't the title of my chapter, but I'll let the audience figure that out when they purchase the book.
Hmm.
Uh, I was saved many times and I really didn't know why. And it started, I guess, in the womb, really. I was born with pneumonia and had to go along that discovery of healing myself day by day. And within the chapter, it really seems that, do you remember that it's like those Marvel comedies where she had like a bubble around, an invisible bubble around her. She had the power of putting an invisible bubble. Well, anyways, it's like, I have that invisible bubble around me because I've had so many uh, almost near-death experiences
Wow.
that have been like, wow, I'm still here in one piece. Nothing happened to me, you know? And it's like, what's going on, because you can hear all these accidents of individuals and being injured. Never had I had to go to the hospital for some of those other accidents, except for one, and that was um, explained in the story where I got really, really sick. But that was because uh, I was really saved on purpose because I had a purpose. And when I surrendered fully, 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 this last time when I said, okay, source, I'm going to trust this process, the miracle of healing happened. So, along my life journey, I guess you would say within each stepping stone, each graduation, I've had another um, miracle happen in my life. So, it's been, I would say, everyday miracles.
Hmm.
And, moment by moment miracles. I really recognize the miracle now, but I didn't recognize it when I was writing the chapter. But I
Interesting.
recognized it, once I wrote it. I was like, oh, wow, yes. So
And do you write them down when they happen? Like when you're having everyday miracles, do you have a little miracle book where you remember your miracles or anything like that?
I've been journaling for many, many years now. And I write as much down as I possibly can. All the magic, all my who are my guides, who are my guardians, who are my ancestors. I've written so much of that down, um, and I've discovered a lot by that, remembered a lot because of the journaling that I do, and I share that with my clientele, how to go deeper with that.
That sounds like a solo book being written or kind of writing itself.
Yeah.
Is that the plan? Are you going to take your
Yes.
journals and turn them into a solo book?
I have a course. I channeled the course because after I had all these tools, then I asked the universe, now what? Now what do I do with all of this toolbox, these golden nuggets and keys? What do you want me to do with it? And my guides came in, my guardians came in, the high councils of light came in, and he said, okay, now it's time to build a modern day course to get people on their soul frequency. So
Hmm.
that's what I did. And it
Wow.
wasn't easy peasy, but it was like, it came quickly. It was like, okay, I get what, and it's amazing that it's simple yet complex because you can make it simple and but yet people who want to dive deeper get to dive deeper because being with your soul frequency takes a lifetime, really. And we really need that education right at the time of birth, but most of us do not. So, yeah.
Yeah. We've been getting some lovely commentary from Suli Yates. She also interviewed her earlier this week, and she said, well, I haven't been reading them at the right time, but she said, hi, Lauren and Juliana Rose. She sent hearts. She said, I resonate with that, having been a dancer myself. I didn't know that about you, Suli. And she said, I feel the Native American from you. And lots of kisses after that. And I also, like when you said Native American, then I suddenly, it was so obvious. I could now see and feel and also just hear from your story just how connected you are with nature and with spirit animals. And then she said absolutely, but I'm not sure what she said absolutely about because I didn't read it at the right time. And then she said, oh yes, I remember it well, the insecurity of a dancer.
Yes.
And then she said, more books to come. I'm just going to take a screenshot of these in case they don't save after the thing. It's just so lovely. Thank you, Suli, for being here and
Thank
chatting
you.
to us. Sorry that I have not been reading your messages in time. But yeah, wonderful. So, what made you say yes to contributing to Miracles Are Normal after doing the other book?
Um, I'm going to say it wasn't me. It was my higher guidance.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was pushed and nudged and nudged and nudged, and it didn't take very long for me once she had it. When she first announced it, I'm like, I'm in. And I was like, oh my goodness, what did I do? And
Okay.
I was there almost at the beginning, really. And the chapter went so smoothly. I was at, you know, done very, very quickly, with some tweaks and refining after that. But Dina really helped me along the way to recognize where I could improve the writing and help it to be, more balanced and smooth. But one thing
Mm.
she did for me that I want to mention is what is in the book now wasn't what was totally in the book before. I kind of changed like half of it. Um, she had mentioned that you should put in your new journeys, which was a devoted divine union path with my husband, which, he's come along so far. We've been, on this journey for very long time, more than 2 decades now. And his soul is really waking up to service now.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we've joined,
Mm,
one chapter of our lives in a way to help others find their own abundance.
beautiful. And he the same man that you went to New York for?
Nope.
Oh,
We've
okay.
changed. Oh no, yes, yes, yes. He
Oh,
is the same man. Yes.
okay. So you went to New York together from California?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So he is the same man.
Yes. And we've had many lifetimes together. So we're just
Oh,
here to finish another chapter and learn,
beautiful.
with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have children together as well.
Yes, we have two. We have a boy and a girl. Yes, they're
Beautiful.
beautiful and
Beautiful. And
bountiful.
now you're in Florida. So you went California, New York, Florida. So that's interesting.
Yes. I tend to stay near ocean and sun.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say much about New York City. It has a lot of snowstorms, but yes, for the most part, my being needs to stay very close to the sun and very close to Mama Ocean. So,
Mm. Okay, amazing.
yeah.
And what's your spirit animal?
I have many spirit animals,
Ah, I thought you were
but
going to say
my
that somehow.
my very first spirit animal was a pink dolphin.
Oh,
And I went on a journey with another animal communicator. And it seems like tears tend to be my initiation. I couldn't stop crying. You know, the my spirit animal dolphin, which is us, right? You know, it's the connection. We have those connections in our DNA. I want people to remember that all of the animals on the planet, the plants we have in our DNA. So don't forget that. But it was a pink dolphin, and dolphins bring me joy, which is another frequency that I carry in my body.
I hear you. When I see dolphins, they are so playful, and I get this playful feeling. Like I literally want to run and jump and whoop, and there is something I get overcome when I see dolphins. Like
Yeah.
there is something deeply, deeply spiritual about dolphins. They're
Yeah.
amazing. So I really hear you. I still want to go swimming with a dolphin sometime.
I did
Yeah.
that when
Oh,
I
you
when I
did?
got
Oh,
engaged. Yes, my husband took me on a uh,
amazing.
catamaran out in the middle of the ocean. She knew the dolphin pods, and she played particular music and called them in her particular way. She had very deep connection with them, and she told us how to interact with them. And I actually got serenaded by a dolphin who kind of tried to act, human with me. Was up, looked at me. It was a baby dolphin and a parent dolphin, and would encircle me. And it felt like a ceremony to me because I received so much high frequency joy in those moments. I was so elated. My heart was just so big, and yeah, I was very
Amazing.
happy. So I'll never forget that.
And Sully is agreeing with us. First of all, she said she is wonderful, Dina, and I totally agree as well. I'm definitely doing my solo book with Dina. And she said another resonance, tears for me too. I love dolphins. And she said, wow, on my wish list, obviously, to swim with dolphins. Me too. It's on my bucket list. I have to do that. The only thing is, I'm not particularly seafaring, so catamaran sounds like a good idea because they're a little bit like off the, you're not going to have that
Yeah.
same imbalance that makes my ears go weird.
Well, there's two different ways you could do it. We actually went snorkeling with the dolphins.
Oh,
So
wow.
we went
Yeah.
and dove into their
Right.
stream
Yeah.
and swam with them. Um, it was a pretty amazing experience.
That must have been phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to do that. We actually have a place to go swimming with dolphins quite close to us. I live in Cape Town, South Africa, and in Mozambique, you can go swimming with dolphins. I just haven't gotten around to it, so I definitely must.
Oh, I
Yeah.
definitely recommend it. It's
Yeah.
a life-changing experience for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would what we've been doing on our calls, and I didn't prep you on this upfront, but would you like to share some of your magic on the call? So, is there maybe any message coming through that you would like to share with the audience today?
How about I share light language for abundance?
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm up for that.
And just sit back and relax. Whew, the guys are already coming in. I don't have to really do anything. They're just gonna come in, my higher soul. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea to get ready. So do you know what light language is? Okay,
Yeah.
light language, just for your audience, is it can be from the soul, it can be from your higher guidance, it can be from divinity itself. And it's a form of light. And some light languages are super ancient, some are very advanced, some are from different stars, And so you may hear some different dialects going through. It's kind of like when you go to another country and you can hear different dialects, like going to India, and you can, there's many different ways that they communicate, different dialects, kind of the same way, but your ears have to be really tuned in to hear that. So just sit back and relax. We're going to do this for abundance. At the same time, I'm going to build some wizard thread. So it's going to be a multi-dimensional experience to help heal the audience, as well as this beautiful Lauren podcaster. Here we go. I feel Arcturus come in, Andromeda, the Lyrans, lots of high council, Syrians, and my eternal soul. Oh, okay. Thank you. Source, unified field coming in now. Here we go. Sinja ondambre sitet and ochinina pre ekawan shinda ada emno inina persuti tinta kano monekata ete kochinda wa sitet ena mono wa tete na mono kotenina pershika ta in wa sinchina na para kota te inda kataka shikote kia. This is for abundance. Just keep focusing on the abundance. And she ante kone kini so what te tanka no what is she it wanted we have some ancient shamans coming in as well. Chin nada para shuitin takana o chin kata pa shuitit asinote ten o te mene siti ke number kuetin washing para kuetin te kenera para suitin ti o santi unta inti shuni tiksa sindewa tatete tut ento sitin ko shitit waka namuri kiti sintia puk mia sinapo oati I sit no waka sintea o anje tea watea ka te mene sichi to setea kunyeshina ayati wasantiaka. Everybody just take a deep breath. Accept it, ground it into your heart, into your belly, and down into your feet. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
They say around 7 days for integration. For whoever receives this magic.
Beautiful.
Whew.
Thank you so much. That felt amazing. That felt really good. And as you came out, I mean, your eyes were just shining. There's just incredible. Beautiful. Um, thank you. Okay. There was one message. Oh, yeah. Suli said, thank you, Julianna Rose. Beautiful. Yeah.
Thank
And she said, vortex healing. Love it. Thank you.
you.
That was so beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, Julie also does vortex healing. So, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw the previous session that I did, the previous live, but we also talked about abundance. So This is just so perfect. I mean, you had no idea then if you didn't see the
No, I
picture.
haven't looked at anything today. I've been like, I mean, beyond this, vessel right here, right now with you,
Yeah.
this is like a
Yeah.
miracle moment. But when miracles sometimes happen, it doesn't look that way to our human outside. And so there's been so many things going on, and I'm just like,
Wow.
okay.
What is the time for you right now?
Right now it's 1:48.
Okay, so nearly 2 p.m. and here it's nearly 8 p.m. It's nearly time for
Oh,
our big party.
oh my gosh.
We're an
Yeah.
hour away from our party with Dina.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
really excited.
On Fridays, I
Yeah.
usually Fridays are my day to give back. So I meet with an international group, and we create um, magic and help to heal the world
Oh,
by
that's
doing
incredible.
grid working, like grid working and creating, magical portals.
That sounds incredible. Wow. And what parting message do you have for the audience before you go?
Be curious about your soul and connect to the higher dimensions of your heart, because your heart is the portal to those higher energies. And that's where humanity sometimes misses the mark, because they're getting distracted by so many things in the world. They're getting distracted by different frequency and energy currencies, money being one. And I love money. Money loves me. But at the same time, we also need to understand that we are the currency, we are the energy flow, and
Mm,
we need to find our tribe.
mm,
Each one of us has tribes that we are here to gather wherever we live. But as visionaries and light leaders that we are, it is our purpose, our mission, and our devoted duty to be here to create communities for humanity to not only live, but to be alive and thrive. That's how we're going to do it, not through just the platforms that are being provided for us through society. That's not the only things that are going to help us. We have to go outside of the boxes. And the outside of the box is being with your soul's unique cosmic blueprint. Find those out. Follow the breadcrumbs.
mm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. How does someone get to your course? How do they find your course? Is it on your website?
They can contact me personally.
Hmm.
It's a one-on-one. Right now, it's a one-on-one deep dive, and then we do community work once a month together to practice.
Hmm.
But this is to get people deeply on their soul's path. It's not surface level. It's
Hmm.
not for the weak. It's not for those who just want entertainment. It's for those who are really wanting the healing and really needing, desiring in their heart and soul, in their body and mind, in every fiber of their being, that they are serious about this path.
Hmm.
So you can find how to connect with me. And I have a pre-questionnaire to
Hmm.
get people, you know, ready for what their the expectations of the course, and direct connection through my email, juliana@jrosehealing.com.
Hmm.
And you can find that on my website.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure that I put your email address then in the description as well.
Sure,
And
you
so,
can
yeah.
also find it on my Facebook.
Okay, perfect.
Facebook.
Yeah, I have added your Facebook, I've added your website. But if you're happy, I'll add your email address as well so people can just directly contact you. Why not?
That would be great.
Great, great. It's been such a pleasure and an honor to have you. And I've really enjoyed our session. It's been amazing and I'm getting awesome. Yes, thank you from Suli as well. Thank you for being here, Suli, and for commenting. Other people were on the call, but they weren't chatting with us.
Oh,
So we don't know who
wonderful.
they are. Yeah.
I want to thank you. I want to thank
Ah,
you for providing a voice for the world, a place for individuals to express who they are, and to give the world another platform of inspiration. So thank you.
absolute pleasure. Yeah, it really is my pleasure. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
I see you.
you. I see you.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
wonderful. Thank you so much. And I will see you maybe if you're free in an hour's time for the party when we celebrate. I think by now we probably are bestseller or Miracles Are Normal is a bestseller. So we'll find out soon enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
It's been wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, in Florida, I'm trying to. Abundant. Thank you. That is
Bye.
so
Bye.
beautiful. And I love the way you describe yourself. That's amazing. If you had